Welcome to this masterclass on how to choose college and branches post JEE and other engineering examination. We have two guests with us, Bharat and Arpan, who are BITS Pilani alumni. Bharat is working as software engineer and Arpan is working in data analyst post doing a master from London Business School.
Thank you for inviting us and really happy to be here. Choosing a branch and college is a very important decision as it's gonna guide you through the entire future. Like, look, for example, me. What I do right now has nothing to do with mechanical engineering, but it still comes up in the questions around interviews that why did you decide to do mechanical engineering? So, although it's a very important decision and you can switch later on to different fields and careers based on your profile and how you approach that, it still is a very complicated decision. So, just looking at JOSA, you have 232 branches and 121 colleges, and this is just from one or two exams, which is JEE mains and JEE advanced. So when you combine this with BITS entrance exam, VIT, Comdec, you have other regional state entrance exams. So through this masterclass, we'll try to answer these questions. What factors does this come into play? What things should you consider? What decisions should you make? And if you want personalized help, we can also help you with that.
That's very well articulated, Urban. The thing is, if I talk about my branch specifically, I was a graduate from computer science. And if we see today, there are a lot many branches in computer science itself. You have computer science with AI specialization. You have computer science with data science specialization. Then you might have an IoT specialization. There are 5-year integrated programs wherein one can do a bachelor come a master's in computer science. So that becomes a thought to ponder as in what is the thing which should be right for us, right? So henceforth, the already complicated process becomes even more complicated because you are now dealing with the granularities even deeper, and then thinking about what should be the right approach which I should choose. Should I possibly go for a master's here, or will the, let's say, a BE come ME in computer science would be the right choice, as in I would get a master's degree in that aspect as well. So that is what seems to be a big source of confusion. And added to that, the other branches, as we see 232 branches, it is a Herculean task in fact.
On that note, let's start looking at what are the various factors that you should consider while choosing a branch. So we have 6 factors shortlisted because it's obviously not possible to cover all of them, but we still would like to cover the major ones. So first is your rank, which is the primary option. If you are like, I have 50,000 rank in JEE Advanced and I want IIT Bombay CS, so that's not possible. But so that's gonna give your feasibility. So based on your branches, you will have a set feasibility options. So you can pick 5 or 10 above that branch as well as lower that branch as well, because you never know what your cutoffs are going to be for this next year, because everything is decided on the past year. So usually cutoffs tend to go up a bit because the number of seats in the colleges slightly increase every year. Then the second factor is personal interest. So are you even interested in that branch? Because for example, CS obviously knows you have to do coding. If you think that I cannot do coding, then that branch is not for you. So there are going to be some personal interests. So in the next slides, we will also cover what you will study in each branch so you can align yourself better. That, okay, this sounds something that I can do for the next 4 years and possibly for the next 40 years of my life.
Right. And needless to say, the financial situation is a very important factor. Uh, we have certain private colleges which do indeed charge very much as compared to quite a lot of the government colleges here. Uh, that becomes a concern. I mean, as in, cannot just say that, okay, you want to be a part of this college, and let's say, even if you clear, you have to take into consideration the financial situation as well. and that does become a concern, especially for the parents. Well, we can also talk about the number of attempts. I mean, if someone is giving his third attempt, let's say in JEE means, he's not eligible for JEE advanced, right? That again becomes a concern. As in, uh, you are choosing a branch. You also have to decide what's the college which you are choosing, right? Uh, that again, you have to be thorough with the guidelines, and accordingly, choose the college as well as the branch. Post engineering career options, definitely. I mean, someone says he wants to do a government job, let's say wants to you know become an engineering service officer, and he chooses computer science. Computer science isn't even a subject there. uh, these are another factors which allow, or rather, you know guide us into choosing the correct career option. Needless to say, again, for a student who is studying in class 12th, it becomes very difficult, because it's more like whatever you are listening from the outer surroundings, it somehow takes place in your mind, and you feel like that, hey, I want to become this particular engineer, or I want to follow this profession. There, you also have to balance the personal interest and the future goals with whatever you are aiming for. So it's not a Bollywood movie wherein you would one day become something extraordinary, you would become a star overnight. That has to be a persistent effort, and I believe these are the factors which you have to take into consideration here.
Yeah, on that note of having responsible choices, so it's even not that since you have got a particular college, your job is done. You have to still continue a bit of effort, because as some institutes would rather us to believe that the if you have got a particular branch at a particular college, your job is finished, you are all set for life. But this is just the beginning, trust me. So even if you think that your like rank isn't that high, or you are not gonna get a particular branch at a particular college, and it's completely ruined, that's not the case.
Absolutely, it's not the end of the career at all. It's rather the beginning, as in whenever you are getting into an engineering college, it's a new beginning. And you are the one, or the student would be the one who would be ensuring that whatever opportunity he has, he makes the best use of it.
Exactly. So we have already provided you with the disclaimer. Let's now get into how to actually you choose a branch, because these are like, consider this as a motivational rant from us. But so first you will get the feasibility around the options. So what branches are feasible, what colleges are feasible. So you will get a list. There are a lot of tools out there that you can use. I in fact just directly use the JOSA's JOSA's rank guide, so you will get a very like correct and official information around what you can get. So once you have that, then you have to align with your personal interests, that okay, whether I will be able to do it or not. So now you have ChatGPT, so you can just go in there and type, hey ChatGPT, what is the curriculum looks like for computer science, engineering, or you have one particular institute which has 59 different branches in agriculture. So how does these particular um, branches differ from each other? Because you will have agriculture and machinery versus agricultural and food engineering. How does these two branches differ? So if you can actually suit with that branch, and then you also have what your future goals look like. Do you want to do a job? Do you want to move abroad to do a master's, or move abroad to do an MBA, or do MBA within the particular thing? So usually these type of decisions come during your engineering years, but if you already have something in mind, please do consider that what is it possible to do that or not. And based on, as Bharat said, your financial situation, because in the end you will be the person to repay that loan, not any college, not any company. So you have to make sure that that is within your budget. So, for example, there are some institutes, high-end private institutes, which have like fees of over 2.5 lakhs per semester. So if you cannot afford that, you will get in a very debt position, and it will be very difficult for you to continuously repay. It's gonna be take 20 years to repay. So don't do that. Then you also have which branch has most engineering career options and what aligns with your goals. So, for example, let's pick agriculture because we are talking about that. So, agriculture as a branch is good if you have farming business or farming intent in mind. But if you don't want to do anything with that, you want a nice corporate office job with just like coding, that branch might not be the correct option for you. So each branch you have to take considerably, and also you can also ask your coaching people, your coaching teachers and your family members. But usually what we have found out that is, if you ask someone with your coaching institutes or your family or friends, they don't have the necessary guidance because they have done that like 20 years in the back of 30 years in the back. So at that time, a particular branch that might be good might not be good now. So you may feel into some of the biased opinions, and you may not get the correct guidance. So for that, we have partnered with Surge Your Career, and if you want, we can direct you can chat with us directly, and we can help you in selecting the particular branch. The links for that particular thing is down in the description, so you can have a chat with us, and we will be able to help you with the choosing the right branch according to your career goals, not just to get you in the engineering college, but what you would do after that as well. So it's not just okay, you will just like clear IIT JEE and everything is sorted for you. What you will do afterwards. On that note, let's look at some of the branches now, because that's what we have promised as well. So there is a small note here that some of the colleges also allow branch switch, sorry, based on your first year's GPA. So if you score high enough GPA, you would be able to switch from, let's say, mechanical to computer science or chemical to computer science. There are a lot of things like these which you should be aware of. So although this branch switch is extremely difficult, just keep in mind, so you would have to put an extraordinary amount of effort in your first year to make a switch, and sometimes the difference is just like one subject and one grade, so you may not get that. It is difficult but possible. We have seen that happen in our batch. There was a person who switched from mechanical to computer science. So on that note, let's look at what actually does the branches mean, because I have seen so many people take chemical because they thought it's just chemistry, which is not the case. Yes, but so if you can get started, since you are computer science, with the what does computer science mean?
So, well, if we talk about computer science, uh, you know, if you're wondering that, okay, you will be designing a computer, opening up the motherboard and working on the circuit compute components which are present here. Well, I mean, that's not the case for sure. We will be working on a few models, but definitely not, on how a computer is built. But definitely over time, you would get to know how a computer possibly thinks. Uh, what exactly are the components which you are required to fed into? As in, a computer understands zeros and ones. How a program which you would be writing is converted into a sequence of bytes, zeros and ones, and then fed so that the computer can understand it. This is precisely what you will be getting to know through several subjects here, like data structures and algorithms. Needless to say, once you get into computer science, you will get a more idea, as in everyone would be saying, hey, you have to be very well thorough with the DSA, or with the DSA, right? The data structures, algorithms. You also have several core subjects like object-oriented programming would be there. You would be working on databases. A few of you would have also studied on SQL, right? You would be also studying here in depth. You would be studying about operating systems. You would be studying about networks. So all in all, this essentially forms the core. Needless to say, there are several other subjects, might also involve a bit of mathematics as well. But yeah, this is more about computer science. Talking about electrical and electronics, or maybe instrumentation engineering, essentially covers all the circuits, the logic gates which you have, right? You might have power and communication systems. You might have a digital signal processing and all. So automation systems, I mean, particularly, involving power. These are the things which, definitely, form the core of electrical or electronics. We might have a microprocessors, just, got myself reminded of that. Uh, well, computer science and electronics or electrical do involve a bit of an overlap. We can talk about computer architecture, as in you might have hardware, you might have software there as well. We code in assembly language. Right? That might be, more of an introduction to the circuit branches, which predominantly cover computer science, electrical, and electronics. So over to you, Arpan, for mechanical and others.
Sure. Before that, I'll just like mention that usually people take circuital branches because of this overlap, so that they can go and they will be eligible for the CS programming jobs. And usually, the companies they have either two that come for job placements, which is the most important thing why you guys are watching this video and doing engineering, because you have read in a paper somewhere that after doing CS from a particular college, you get 2 crore placements. So on that, usually companies have two type of structures. One is just focused on CS, and other ones are open to CS and electrical. This includes EC, Triple E, and other electrical variations that you have in the market now. And then other companies have all branches are eligible. So if you are within the electrical space, you become eligible to participate in interviews for most of the companies, specifically coming for CS and programming related jobs. On that note, I'm going to switch to mechanical. So mechanical, civil, and chemical, they constitute as core branches, and they are a completely different aspects from computers, programming, etc. You will get some amount of exposure here and there because of the new technologies of CFD or computational engineering or precision engineering, but the exposure is minimal around here. Um, but you will learn about thermodynamics, how the similar thermodynamics you would have learned in your 11th and 12th, but on a different aspect to it. Then you will also learn around fluid mechanics, same fluid mechanics, but on a exponential level. And new subjects would include manufacturing processes, which means like how things are manufactured. You will also get to build stuff hands-on in some of the projects. So you will have to ship a particular project in itself that okay, for example, make a pulley system or lever system. You will also learn about forces, force mechanics, or the 3D rotations and 3D problems on the 11th class that you have studied. That would come again. And so there are a couple of things that you would have studied in your 11th and 12th, and they will just be repurposed and on a different level. But there's no need to worry, so that you would be thinking if you were bad in physics in class 11th, you should not be taking mechanical or civil or things, but you can still learn because that constitutes only like let's say 5% of the entire thing that you will study. So it's not that if you're bad in a particular subject, you just have to like completely avoid it and never see it from the other things. And in chemical, you will have more focus on it will still not be chemistry that you know of as like organic chemistry and physical chemistry and inorganic chemistry that you know currently. That's not chemical engineering. You would have reaction engineering, a bit of focus around material science. So how does materials are composed of? Thermodynamics will make an appearance again. Then it's more about how things are reacting chemically rather than just chemistry. So there is a difference, so be beware of that. And in civil, you will learn about construction, you will learn about how buildings are constructed, what's the best way to construct a bridge, what would be the force points, how not to make a bridge collapse, and these type of things. But in the end, usually what happens is, because of lack of opportunities in specifically core areas, people either switch to circuital. So either they learn programming or they learn analytics, and they move to analytics and other areas. And some of them, they go for masters or like masters in mechanical engineering, particularly if they are very much interested in the field, through either Germany or US, and then they start a career there. So that option is still there, because obviously with AI and ML, you would, in computer science, you will have that opportunity there as well, that you can move to do masters in specifically AI and ML and start a career in there, because that field is like booming right now, even in 2025. So coming back to mechanical engineering, you would have people who go for masters or they switch to MBA. There's also another element that people do through electrical, mechanical, civil, and chemical branches, that they take some of the courses, like Bharat mentioned, DSA, and they do some internships, build a strong profile, and then they do computer science masters from like foreign or through India, through various exams. But the goal usually revolves around moving from core branches to somewhere else. But if you are specifically interested in doing a core branch, then you should go for it. The It may happen that you may have to do a master's to get a particular job, because the opportunities in India are currently less. But due to heavy investments in tech, non-tech areas, there may be a shift in the near future, but we don't know what that near future still is.
Exactly. Perfectly said, Arpan. Like we have recently, heard about a potential boom in semiconductors in India, because the government is willing to spend here. How much time that would take? That again becomes a concern, right? Because even though that would happen, we cannot be sure that okay, that's going to happen in the next 2 years. And let's say if someone is coming into electronics today, whether after 4 years, and let's say considering that you might be looking out for a job in the field of electrical or electronics, whether we will be getting ample jobs or not, or whether someone might say that hey, ultimately it's the circuit branches which are all moving into the IT jobs, so let's actually move on to that. That is what I can say, that that does become a burden, right? Because you are not studying something of your subject, you are studying something extra as well. One important thing to mention here is, irrespective of whatever branch you choose, the CGPA you get is very important. It's not something which is to be taken lightly. And the college life has to have a good balance between your studies, your extra co-curricular, and whatever you are planning to do. So these do become factors in deciding, and it might be important to get a better idea of as in what we have to do, or what or where our interests might lie. At least have a basic understanding of that, so that we right from the beginning might possibly be devoted towards what we want to achieve, right? So,
Like this is one of like very good thing because I do like I have some people reach out to me as like masters, but the biggest concern usually is because we were not interested in a particular domain, we did not pay attention in the classes, and then our GPA does not land. Now, in that case, when you're applying for a master's and your GPA is bad, you will not be able to get out of that. So you are stuck in a endless despair that you want to get out of that branch, but you cannot. So please do make sure that your GPA. So it's not just like in whatever highest college I'm getting, whatever branch I'm gonna take that highest rank college, as some of the rankings have that. It should also align with your interest, and that's why it's so personalized, because each person is different. You cannot follow what your brother has done or your elder sister has done or your cousin of uncle of your mother's dad has done somewhere in the even like 1 year down the line, because in the end you have to stick to that branch for the entirety of your life. You have to do the exams, you have to do the job interviews. No one else is gonna come and help you. So please do make sure that whatever you branch you are picking, you have a decent bit of interest in that, and you can get to a decent enough GPA so that you can transition if need be from that branch.
exactly. And, that's why some sort of a guidance is definitely necessary. Because I totally understand. I mean, uh, we don't tend to take decisions from hearsay, right? I hope you agree, Arpan. I mean, we do tend to see that, okay, this guy has done something because he possibly chose this branch or this college. And then that becomes a mark of, let's say, hey, if I get this, if I achieve this, then I'll also become this. But there is a road which is to be taken. And, not everyone follows the same steps as someone else has followed. And not everyone gets the same environment as well.
Yes,
And
exactly, and that's why we have partnered with like Surge Your Career, because this is like their mission is like very brilliant, because once they reached out to us, we were like, okay, yes, this is something that we could foresee us. So they have like brilliant success rates. Everyone is happy, and they're awarded so many education consultancy awards, etc. But in the end, what we have formulated with them, and not just us, like there are a lot of people behind this. So we have developed a personalized counseling assistance, because as Bharat said, like you have a road that you need to be followed, but that road is different for every person. I am different, Bharat is different. If you're watching this video, you are different, and you cannot have the same things copy pasted. So how does this work is that you just register with us, then we will send you a form in which you will fill your rank, your financial future goals, all the things that we have mentioned here. And on the basis of that, there's going to be a team of 3 and 4 more alumni associated with that, and we will analyze your profile and then send you personalized preferences for your colleges and brands. And if you have signed up for the detailed guidance plan, you would be able to directly chat with us, where we can guide you on which branch to choose, which college to choose, what should be your career path through the college in itself, and what your future opportunities might look like. So if you have any doubt around, okay, should I choose mechanical engineering or chemical engineering, or I, I'll give you like one example, because this is the choice I had. So BITS Pilani Mechanical Engineering versus some IIT Kharagpur Agricultural versus VITCS versus IIT Delhi, some like ceramic, for example. So if you have any sort of these questions, or in fact, it could be like, should I go with like BITS Pilani chemical engineering because I don't have a good branch, or should I do VIT CS or Manipal CS, or in fact your state colleges? So if you have any questions like these, if you are stuck anywhere, we are there to help you. Just you use the link down in the description. You will find that there, and you would be able to chat with us directly. But on that note, this masterclass will end soon because we are nearing the time. So thank you for joining everyone who have joined live, as well as we will also put this on YouTube so that everyone else can see that and share the link with you. And so, in conclusion, see your interests, see your rank. Rank will give you feasibility around what branches should you think are possible. Then align your future interests, your goals, personal interests, and then make an informed decision, because this is one of the important decisions that you are going to make in your life.
Absolutely. And uh, there's no end of the road. We do tend to, think about, hey, my JE rank isn't good. Uh, am I done? Because, that's sort of a human psychology. You have been working hard for 2 or more years, possibly going into coachings, possibly balancing your school and coaching. And then suddenly, because, on the day of the exam, anything can happen, right? So just make sure that, just have a clear mind, rather, that you will be the one who would be deciding that, and won't be uh, the rank which you in any of these exams. That might give a head start for sure, but even if it is not, that's not the end. You can again get a fresh start here, and you know everyone's journey is different, so there's absolutely nothing to worry about.